You know, it feels like every single week there's a new AI that's supposed to be the best, right? The whole landscape is just so crowded and confusing, and trying to pick the right tool can feel, well, pretty much impossible. But what if we've all been asking the wrong question this whole time? Let's dig into that.
This question. This is the one you see everywhere. It's in all the headlines, it fuels all the debates online. We are all desperately looking for that one single perfect AI that can just do everything. But you know what? That's just not how this game is played anymore.
Yup. Asking which AI is best is a little like asking a carpenter which tool is best. A hammer is great, but you're not going to cut a 2x4 with it. And that right there is the key. The whole era of a single do-it-all AI, it's officially over.
The game has totally changed. The goal is no longer to find that one AI to rule them all. The real goal now is to build a team of specialists, because these different models now have incredibly specific and sometimes wildly different strengths. And this brings us to the most important concept we're going to talk about, AI specialization. It's this idea that different models are now just completely dominant in specific areas. And we're not talking about tiny little improvements here. We are talking performance gaps of 30, 40, even 50% on certain tasks. That's not a small tweak. That is the difference between a rookie and a world-class professional.
So instead of looking for that one magic hammer, you got to start thinking like you're building a toolbox full of very specialized instruments. You wouldn't use a screwdriver to hammer in a nail, right? So you shouldn't be using just one AI for every single job. So let's open up this toolbox and meet some of the specialists. First up, let's look at Claude. Think of Claude as the precision professional. This is your go-to when you need absolutely elite-level code, or you're writing something that needs to be so nuanced and detailed it feels like a human wrote it. Then, on the other side, you've got Perplexity, the research specialist. Its entire job is to give you verified answers, complete with citations. One's the creator, the other's the fact-checker. Next up, we have Gemini, the absolute king of speed and scale. This thing can chew through enormous documents, and it's wired directly into the whole Google ecosystem. And then, of course, there's the one we all know, ChatGPT. It's still the ultimate Swiss Army knife. It's that versatile generalist that you grab for pretty much any and every kind of daily task.
And this is where you really see the range. You've got GLM, which gives you top-tier coding but at a tiny fraction of the cost, and you can even host it yourself for total privacy. Then there's Kimi, which is a hyper-specialist. It does one thing and it does it better than almost anyone. It analyzes huge documents. We're talking entire books or massive legal contracts all in one go. It's wild.
Okay, so all of this sounds good in theory, right? But how do these specializations actually play out when the rubber meets the road? Let's put two of these models in a head-to-head duel because they have completely different philosophies. This is where you'll really see what specialization means in practice.
The contrast here is just fascinating. On one side, you have GLM. Its whole reason for being is accessibility. It has open source options, its API is way cheaper. And then on the other side, you have Claude, a totally different approach. It's a premium, closed source luxury tool that is laser focused on one thing, being the absolute best for really complex coding and writing that's incredibly human-like.
And here's where you can actually see the specialization in action. Claude has this killer feature called artifacts. It is a perfect example. You ask it to write some code, and it doesn't just give you a block of text. No, it pops open a little side window with a live, interactive preview of what you just asked for. It completely transforms the chat from a text box into a dynamic workspace. For developers, this is an absolute game changer.
But wait a second, performance is great, but it's only half the story. We have to talk about cost, because this is where picking the right specialist can have a mind-blowing impact on your budget. For jobs where you're doing something over and over, a budget-friendly model can be 50 to 100 times cheaper. That is not a typo.
And this chart just lays it all out there. Look at this. This is the cost for every million tokens. You can just think of tokens as little pieces of words. Gemini Flash is just 40 cents. DeepSeek is $1. But Claude Sonnet, that elite specialist, $15. Now, if you're just doing a few things, maybe it doesn't matter. But if you're running millions of API calls for a business, this isn't about saving a few bucks. This is about financial survival.
So, okay, we've met all these specialists, we've seen the price tags. How in the world are you supposed to choose? Well, that brings us to the main event, your guide to picking the perfect tool for any job.
And here we are, right back to our original question. But now we get to ask it the right way. The question isn't which AI is the best anymore, it's which AI is the best for this specific job. And for that, we've got the ultimate cheat sheet for you.
Here it is, the AI Decision Matrix. Let's run through it. If you need professional, production-grade code, you go to Claude. It's the winner. But if you're coding on a budget, GLM gives you unbelievable power for the price. Sifting through a massive document? That's a job for Gemini. Need to do research and you absolutely have to have citations? Perplexity is in a class of its own. And for just your day-to-day, all-around use? Yep, ChatGPT Plus is still the champ. This is your playbook.
Okay, so the final piece of the puzzle is to stop thinking about just using a single tool. The people who are really getting the most out of AI right now, they're building what's called a hybrid stack. It's basically a custom workflow that pulls in the best AI for each specific stage of a project.
So what does that actually look like? Well, for a lot of pros, a daily stack might look something like this. You start with ChatGPT as your workhorse, right? It does maybe 70% of the general brainstorming and simple tasks. Then, when it's time to write the really critical production-level code, you call in the specialist, Claude. That's maybe 25% of the work. And then for that last vital 5%, use Perplexity to fact-check and verify everything.
Now, what if you're more focused on cost? No problem. You build a budget stack. In this world, GLM is your go-to for pretty much all your coding and reasoning, giving you incredible bang for your buck. Gemini Flash becomes your engine for processing tons of documents cheaply, and DeepSeek is your workhorse for the absolute most price-sensitive bulk jobs. It's powerful, and it's incredibly efficient.
And at the enterprise level, for big companies, the stack looks different again. Here, it's all about quality, scale, and, most importantly, security. You're using Claude for the absolutely critical, must-not-fail code. You're leveraging Gemini for document analysis on a massive corporate scale. And, this is huge, you use GLM for on-premises deployment, meaning you can run it on your own servers, ensuring that your company's sensitive data never, ever leaves the building.
So, this is really the bottom line. The whole search for a single best AI is a thing of the past. Today, the real winners, the people and companies who are going to thrive, are the ones who master the art of matching the right model to the right task.
So we'll leave you with this final thought. It's time to start thinking about your own workflow, your own projects, your own budget. The age of the AI specialist is here. So the only question that really matters anymore is, what's in your AI stack?
Subscribe for clear, practical insights on modern software development. No hype, just real engineering.